hurry up and get that divorce. Sasha is no longer into you anymore, okay? So please give up that seat at his side already and let me sit there. Huh? I had thought cheating with him all this time would have gotten you to leave him by now. But you are not letting go of him even after seeing his faithlessness towards you. I get that you want to continue being the wife of a CEO, but that seat is meant for me now. So is this really who my husband has been cheating on me with? Abigail? So you've been the one sending him home after he gets out of work covered in kisses made with red lipstick. And you've been putting all those pictures of you two together in my mailbox each week? I know about you and him being a thing very well now. Well then, why have you not divorced him for me yet? You've seen all those pictures of him loving up on me, right? Sasha's into me now, and he won't be letting me go. I want to hurry this up and get married to him, and I want him to start calling me his wife. Is that so? But even after telling me things like that, it's not going to make me just hand him over to you. It's not as simple as you think for a married couple to just call it quits like that. Huh? All you have to do is sign the dang divorce papers and then hand them in. That is so easy that a baby can do it. When it comes to there being a divorce over one of the two being unfaithful, there are a lot of steps added to the process. We have to talk about how to split the properties and about the settlement that'll come after. You are such a parasite. So you've just been worried about his money all this time? This is why he doesn't want you to be his wife anymore. Excuse me? Sasha is always going on about it. He gets so upset about how much of a leech you are. And talks about how whenever he brought up wanting to separate, you'd freak out and do everything to keep him around you. But I'm telling you, all that work you put in trying to keep him with you was actually pushing him away even faster. What do you mean I'm a parasite? You're telling me that he's been talking about me that way this whole time? He's always calling you a parasite. He says you are like a leech, a tick, even a tapeworm at times. I mean, he's not wrong though, right? In order to never allow him to get rid of you, you hang on tight to his fur coat, right? You never seem to want to listen to him, and he's had enough of it. Unlike with you, he actually wants me to be around him, but he can't do that yet when you are still clinging onto his back. Huh? I'm sorry, Jenny. I know that you've given all your effort to stay attached, but it's not going to work when he has a cute and young girl ready to take you out. He told me that he's going to get rid of you once and for all and then let me climb on him instead. So now that you're aware of that, just give up on him and go find another person to latch on to. And by the way, Sasha's coming over to my place tonight to stay until you're gone. Hey, Sasha, we need to talk. I've heard that you've been calling me a parasite now, correct?
Huh? What are you talking about now? A lot going on right now as the CEO of a company. Right now I'm in the middle of a very important meeting, right?
What important meeting? I know that you're on a date with the girl you've been cheating on me with is all.
What?
I have been getting a lot of crap from that other woman of yours for a while now. But I guess that's only natural from someone who thinks it's alright to take a married man away from his wife. I'm sure you thought you'd be able to hide all these secret dates from me by saying you have to work and all that crap. But I've been aware of you for a while now. Honestly, I wasn't that upset then, but today I learned that you've been calling me the parasite in this relationship. I am not going to let any of that slide now.
Hey, wait. How long have you known about Abigail and I?
I think it's been a bit over a year now. And I was just texting with her a couple minutes ago. She had something very important to tell me. And that was that she wanted me to hurry up and get divorced from you. She really wants to marry you soon, so she's wanting me to rush now.
What?
Now let me talk with you about all of this. Do you really plan on divorcing me and then getting remarried to that woman you've been cheating with? We have been married for 7 years now and have been a couple for 10. You plan to crumple those 10 years with me up and throw them away?
What do you want me to say? I don't have any use for an old used up hag like you anymore. Us men like to be around young, good-looking women all our lives. But I'm no exception to that.
Excuse me?
Also, you are the perfect example of a parasite. There's no merit to me being married to you any longer. And that's why I'm choosing to be with Abigail now.
What about me as a parasite to you, Sasha? I have been giving it my all to support you and your business by being at your side all this time as your wife.
Who cares about that? You're nothing like a wife to me, but rather a nasty little tick. I happen to have a company and loads of money at my disposal. And that's the only reason you've wanted to be so close to me, is so that you can get all that money.
What?
I've been watching you work so hard for me, all in order to keep me from throwing you away. It's hilarious what lengths you've gone to as well. Not only will you help me with my business at times, but you do all the chores for me. When I get home, you give me those 2-hour massages I ask for, like you're afraid of losing me. You'll even go out in the middle of night to get food that I want from the store. I know that you've just been doing all that in order to stay on my skin. Which means you're nothing more than a parasite to me.
You stop all that right now! You thought I was doing all of that stuff in order to keep me around you?
You sure were, weren't you? You know dang well that if I get rid of you, then you're doomed.
The reason I was doing all of that was in order to make you happy and keep our marriage life going. The reason I was giving you those messages and going out in the middle of the night to shop for you was all out of love. And the reason I did it all with a smile on my face is because if I looked upset about it, you'd flip. And then you'd go back to what you'd always told me in the past, and that is that if I didn't listen to the man of the house, you'd throw a fit. Which you've done plenty of times now, like some spoiled child.
I have every right to throw a fit about it, though. I'm not going to just sit around and let a parasite get the better of me like that.
This is BS. I can see now that you have no room for discussion anymore. The only 2 responses I can get from you now is either calling me a parasite or getting upset with me over nothing. But I shouldn't be surprised by that, since you already have another woman now.
Well, don't worry about me listening to you anymore, because this is over with. I don't need to have a parasite attached to me anymore, and Abigail has helped me realize that. And so, because of that, hurry up, get out of my face. And with this divorce, you better give me back all those shares you got in my company.
What?
I gave you a whole lot of shares to my company in the past, right? You kept asking me over and over again to give them to you, so I did it out of wanting to keep my own sanity. You're probably whining to me, so let you have some because you're a parasite, right? You wanted to make sure you had something to do with my company financially, in order to keep me from kicking you to the curb. Well, it doesn't work that way, Jenny. They have nothing to do with you being my wife.
You're joking, right? Do you have any idea why I have shares in your company right now?
In order to keep me from getting rid of you, right? What a freaking brainless woman. Thinking that some shares in my company would make me more open to having you as a wife long term.
I'm done with this. Sasha, you and I are through. I'll sign those divorce papers for you right now. And I'll hand you back those shares and whatever else you want.
Finishing this up now will help me out a bunch. Abigail's become a real pain in my neck recently, going on and on about how she wants to get married. I just never thought she'd actually start texting you about all of it, but I guess that just shows, well, how much she loves me.
That's right, she really wants to become the wife of a CEO. But in return for me allowing this divorce, I'd like you to be ready to pay me the settlement I'll be asking for from you.
Sure. I'll pay you whatever you ask for. I'm a CEO, after all, so it won't even bother me to fork over that kind of cash. Unlike you parasites, I actually have to be very well off.
Hearing that from you, I'm a little relieved. Well, I'm going to get in touch with my lawyer and talk this over, and I'll send you the details later. And once you've gone ahead and sent me that money that I've asked for, I'll hand in the divorce papers.
Sounds perfect. You know that I'll be agreeing to the amount you asked for, so go ahead and get ready to hand in those papers.
Thank you so much for getting that divorce, Jenny. Because of that today, Sasha and I were able to hand in our marriage forms. Congratulations on your marriage. But be careful about having an even younger and more cute woman than yourself coming up from behind and stealing him from you. I'm sorry, but you're not going to scare me by saying things like that. Sasha is so into me. There's no way on this big green earth that he would ever take his eyes off me for another woman. That's quite the confidence you have there. Now let's get to business. You've already divorced Sasha now, so hurry it up and get out of that house. We were just able to hand in our marriage forms, but not being able to live together in that house yet is a bit annoying. What? That house that you're still sitting in right now is going to be our house starting today. Yet you're still sitting in there and not bothering to get out. I am the wife of a CEO now. So tell me why I should still have to live in my tiny little apartment to make room for you to be in that house with him. Get a move on and get out of my mansion. From what it sounds like, you haven't been told everything by Sasha just yet, have you? Huh? What else was he supposed to tell me? Stop it with all this stupid talk and get the hell out of my house. He's already thrown you away and chosen the younger and cuter me to have as his wife. So a loser like you needs to get out of my mansion right now. Is it really that hard for a parasite like you to find a new host? I've already gone and sold that house. Huh? So when it comes to me moving out, I'm already at my new place. You have no right to sit there and tell me to leave when that mansion is no longer in my possession. Since you don't even seem to have a clue what's going on, try talking to Sasha about it before coming to me again. Wait a second, please. The mansion's been sold? You sold my mansion? The mansion where I was supposed to be loved by Sasha in? If I remember correctly, that mansion was never yours or Sasha's to begin with. I was given that house in the settlement that came with the divorce, so it was mine before selling it. I have every right to sell whatever's mine, and I don't have to tell you a thing about it. Huh? What the hell do you mean you got that place with the settlement? I was never told any of this by Sasha. And that's why I want you to go and talk to him right now. I don't care to explain it to you, so ask him. But Sasha's a CEO, and he is way too busy every day to explain things to me. Unlike you, who has all the time in the world as a lowly parasite. Now, you tell me, what the hell is going on? Really? Sasha's been telling me about this the whole time. He said that the moment he gets rid of you, he and I are going to move into a nice mansion. He got me all excited about the new life we'd have together after getting married, but now you're going to tell me he gave that mansion to you in a settlement? No! There is no way! But there was a way. I get it. You're just trying to bully me now, huh? You think so? Settlements normally only include money in them, right? You getting the house in the settlement and then selling it without my approval? That's all been done by you as a way of harassing me and my husband. You are the most scummy and toxic woman on this planet. Would you stop going on about whatever stupid misunderstanding you have? I never wanted a mansion or anything in the settlement, to be honest. But he didn't have enough money otherwise, so I had to make do getting the place from him. So he gave me whatever money he did have and then gave me the house as well to sell. Huh? You're telling me that he didn't have enough money to pay you and had to give up his house as well? What the hell are you going on about? He's a CEO. He has all the money in the world in his pockets. He's always going on about how he has all this money saved up and it's so much we could buy an island with it. Saying things is pretty easy to do. But it's actually proving said things that can be quite difficult. And in this case, he has nothing in his savings. The company that he's running has been in the red for a long time now, and he's got a lot of debt. And because of that, the only things he could give me was his pocket change and the house. Huh? Hold on. He has $0 in his savings, and his company is in debt? What the hell do you mean? He's made himself look like a competent CEO in front of you, right? In the past, I suppose he was one, but things have changed since then. A lot has happened. After his company took off, the money got to his head, and he started messing around too much. And when that was happening, he would force all his employees to do the most insane things for his company. And after all of them started to leave his company, he was left on his own to try and fix the now dying business he once had. What? A lot of his employees tried to talk with him on a serious level about what had been going on. But he would never listen to them, instead talking back in a more aggressive tone, giving them no choice but to quit. So because of all that, he is now barely running a company that's completely in the red. But he is still a CEO, so you understand that all kinds of companies have debt at some point, right? He should know how to handle all that, right? It would be crazy for him not to know what to do. Right when his company was on the verge of going bankrupt, I saved it. I have actually been a holder of quite a large number of shares in his company. So I happen to have some weight in his company. Are you serious? When I started to realize that he had turned into a psycho when it came to managing his company, I stepped in and bought a ton more shares in his company to keep it above water. And ever since the first time I bought those shares, I've been doing my best to keep things going there. But of course, since he has no idea what's going on with his own company and is just fooling around all the time, he doesn't really know that I've been behind the scenes running the operation. When I did bring up the fact that I have a large portion of the shares in his company, he just started to call me a parasite and said he gave those all to me. What? I had really tried so hard to help his company continue on, but recently some very crazy things happened, and due to that, well, his company is right back on the slippery slope to hell. And all due to the fact that the woman he was cheating on me with thought it would be funny to brag about how she's been with my husband, that I'm a parasite to him. Since that first time you texted me about all that, I've become really tired and don't bother with Sasha's company anymore. No! Honestly, it's so funny to watch how deep in the red his company is falling. Everyone he still had working with him now is left. I felt bad that they were all leaving without any kind of money for it, so I've been giving them a check from the money I gained after selling the mansion. A lot of these people have worked for Sasha for a long time and deserve a package. So I'll use the money from their CEO to do just that. That's why he has nothing left then? It's all either gone to me to pay for the settlement, or it's gone to the banks. Did you know, though, that in the divorce, he also asked me to give back the shares I had? It was so hilarious watching him learn about what was really happening at his company. I was pissing myself as his smile faded to a blank stare at the wall. Jenny, do you have any idea how much debt his company is still in right now? If it's just a small amount, then he'll be able to fix things, no problem, right? I'm sure that if he put a little more effort into it, he could become a competent CEO again, right? As of right now, he owes $6 million. He never paid any attention to the debt he was getting into and continued to borrow more and more money. $6 million? No way! How the hell could he get that deep into debt? Congratulations on becoming the wife of a CEO. It's rare to see someone marry a CEO who's about to lose their company and be stuck with $6 million worth of debt. You must really love Sasha for the man he is then. Huh? What the hell do you mean? Do you think it's funny congratulating me for this? I'm not messing around anymore. This is not at all the life I was expecting after marrying him. Well, I'm going to go now, all right? You can both do something about this yourselves, okay?
Hey, Jenny. Why the hell did you tell her about the truth?
Wow, it's been a bit since I last heard you calling my name. Normally you just talk to me without ever saying my actual name to me.
Right now, none of that matters. I want to know why you told Abigail about everything. Because of you, something major is happening that's going to really screw things up for me.
Huh? Why are you blaming me for your BS now? I wasn't the one texting me about how I needed to hurry up and get out of the mansion. So I had to teach her everything that was actually going on since someone else forgot to. It's your fault for not telling her the truth about yourself sooner, right?
I have no reason to be telling her things like that, though. She was looking forward to moving into a mansion this whole time. She'd go out every day and buy furniture that she thought would look good in the place. We talked for days and days about how we'd have the mansion set up and decorated. Yet during all her excitement, you went and told her you took the house and sold it.
I also made sure to tell her about your failing business. I'm sure she'd want to run away from a CEO who's in debt by millions and soon won't even have a company anymore.
Seriously? Why would you do this to me? She's running around right now, getting all her things together to leave me. And she's getting ready to go out that door. It's only a matter of time. If this really does spell the end for us being a couple, it will be all your fault.
I don't give a crap, you jackass. This is what you get for fooling around with other women when you were supposed to focus on your company. And let's be honest, you only have one chance to get her to like you again, and that's by fixing your company's situation and making all that money back.
But all of that's your fault. You were the one that allowed my employees to leave the company without ever telling me. I went back into the office for the first time this year. There are only 2 people in there working.
And if you were to put a bit of effort into it and get that company back on its feet, then more people would want to work for you again. This is your time to show that you are a competent CEO. You're going to have to start stepping up your game if you want to impress those cute young women around you. Hey, Jenny, you are the worst. You give me the money from the mansion you sold right now. Jesus frickin' Christ. The only reason I married Sasha is because I thought he'd be this super rich, good-looking CEO that I could ride on. But to learn that he's in terrible debt, he scammed me. He said there'd be a mansion for me and everything, but all of it's nowhere to be found. So I'm going to divorce him now and get the money I deserve from him. I was lied to and made the victim here, so I have the right to his money. That's true. He sure did lie to you about how he had all this money in his savings and everything. I can't say you're wrong for saying that he scammed you. I totally understand why you want to get a settlement from him. I'm sure you do! I have the right to get money because of all this! But you shouldn't be asking for that money from me. I think you're very wrong asking me for my money. Huh? How the hell am I supposed to get money from someone who doesn't have any? He doesn't have a house, a car, or any money now. So I would like you to give me some of that money you received for selling the mansion. So after stealing my husband, you want to take my money? You really are a bold little frick, aren't you? Shut up and just give me the money. You all are the worst people ever. I never thought that Sasha was that kind of horrible man. I even ended up ending the lease on my apartment thinking that I'd be moving into a huge house with him. Oh, you ended your lease? Well, then the both of you are more similar than I thought. You both now live homeless with no money to spare. I am not going to listen to you talking to me like that. Well, then turn off your phone. I'm telling you right now that I am nothing like him because I still have money. I did end up quitting my job, though, thinking I'd have myself a sugar daddy. But before I quit, I was working all the time and saving up. Well, so you are a bit more serious about yourself than I thought. I happen to have $30,000 right now. It's amazing for someone in their early 20s to have that kind of money in savings, right? That is pretty amazing. But all that money is going to be coming to me now, right? So in the end, you and Sasha are very much alike. You both won't have a house or any money. What? I have to pay you? I still haven't gotten any money from you yet in that settlement. It was all your fault that my life with my husband ended up falling apart, right? So you're going to have to be responsible for what you've done. What? I'm sorry for making you get on your high horse there, bragging about your money. I really didn't know you had that kind of money on you. But it sure does make me feel happy knowing you do indeed have the money for me. I might not be getting the full amount I was going to ask for from you, but $30,000 will do. You're lying. Wait a sec. You already got money from both the house you sold and his pocket change, right? Yet you still want more money? That money was from Sasha, and I still would like my share from you. You both have to be responsible for your screw-ups. No way! That's not okay. I already got rid of my apartment and I don't have a job anymore. And now you're going to steal all of my savings? I'm not stealing anything from you. I just happen to have the right to your money is all. Now I would like you to start getting that money in order for when my lawyer contacts you. I was nice in letting you have my husband, right? So as a thank you for that, I'd like you to send me a present. Right after that, I went and spoke to my lawyer, letting him know that Abigail did indeed have the money for me, and that I'd like $30,000 from her. I got a call soon after from her, screaming and crying in my ear, so I handed the phone over to my lawyer and let him have a word with her. And after a few hours, in one large transfer, I got all the money I had asked for. According to some rumors I've heard, Sasha was not going to let Abigail get away in a divorce, and made sure to drag him into his horrible situation of having to try and save his dead company. But in the end, those last two employees of his quit, and the company was just left to those two. However, even with all the effort they put into trying to keep things going, they only sank deeper and deeper into the red. As of right now, I've heard that those two are still trying to fix things, but in order to do so, they have both had to stay in that office 24 hours a day, and are pretty much making it their home. When it comes to myself, I've taken all the money from both settlements and the house I sold, and started a business of my own. I learned through Sasha's company that I was actually quite good at managing a business and thought this would be the perfect next step for me. I've already started hiring some of the people that used to work for Sasha, and I feel if things go well for me this year, I can start to live life as a CEO myself.